guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Neha and welcome to hopefully what is a reading vlog, like an actual vlog where I read. So yeah, it is Saturday, it is Saturday, April 9th and it's around 10 a.m. I just got back from the gym. I had a workout session early on a Saturday morning, which is quite unusual for me, but good. So I just made myself a cup of coffee using my French press, which is also a new addition to my house. The past entire week I was in office, like physical office, and it's good to kind of unwind during the weekend because it was good to get back to office, got a lot of stuff done, but it is exhausting. I was a very busy week. So yeah, hopefully this weekend I get to unwind, to relax, to get some stuff done and read a little bit, and hopefully I'll take you around. Sorry about the fan noise, but I just can't. I can't stay in the living room without the fan anymore because it's so hot, it is so humid, and we don't have an air conditioner in the living room. I am not currently reading anything. I did start like a Russian literature heavy book, but it's a lot to undertake, so I'm gonna keep that one down and hopefully pick out a new book to read in this vlog, and I'll take you around. And in a bit I'll show you what I'm thinking, what options do I have. What else? I just ordered breakfast for myself. Thought I'll treat myself a little bit, order some Turkish eggs, and hopefully they're yum. And yeah, let's see how this day pans out. Cheers to a fruitful Saturday. Welcome to my bookshelf. As you can see, it is quite stuffed now. What should I read? Oh, there's so many unread books on the shelf. It's bugging me that I have so many, but it's okay. One thing at a time. What should I read? This shelf I've read quite a bit actually, so I'm proud of this one. I have Paradise as an option. Been wanting to read this for quite some time. Should we start Paradise today? Okay, that's an option. Let's keep it here. What else? Any Indian books? Lots of them. Oh, I forgot these. This is a new-ish stack. Where is my book? Oh, here it is. Also have this, which is a pandemic book, which was also in my recent vlog. Shall we pick this up? You know what? Let's pick this one up. It is much later in the day. It's actually 6:30 p.m. right now. I am dressed up because we are heading out to dinner, a special dinner. I'll probably tell you more about it in the car. But before we leave, I just thought I'll come and update on how things have been moving with Station 11. So this is basically the story of a pandemic. A deadly virus with flu-like symptoms has struck the North American continent and wreaks havoc. They call it the Georgia virus because it's originating from the country of Georgia. And initially we're just told about the story of the night when it truly hits the continent, like the epidemic is, you know, overflowing the ER, people are dying, people are trying to flee the city, etc. And then we cut to 20 years later when apocalypse has basically dawned and there's no more electricity, there's no more internet, there's not much fuel, not many survivors. All the survivors are living in like small towns clustered around like gas stations across the continent, and we are introduced to this group of musicians and actors who call themselves the Traveling Symphony, who travel from town to town and put up performances. They reached this one town where they had originally come a couple of years earlier, where they left one of their members there because she was pregnant, and then they realized that the town is not all what it seems to be, like it has changed from their previous visit. How do I feel about this book? So this scene, the first few chapters, where like the character that we are following gets a call from his friend that, you know, the ERs are full, people are dying, and it's spreading like crazy, like it's spreading in like a matter of hours. It is so reminiscent of the COVID-19 virus. Like in the first wave in April-May 2020, India was under a lockdown, but the cases were not as bad as the rest of the world, particularly USA, New York, Italy, and you would just hear the news of all ERs flowing up, people dying, people forced to, you know, leave their elders to this deadly virus. Oh, it's giving me like PTSD almost, because it was like the stream of bad news from all corners of the globe, and things in India were also not doing that great in terms of the economy and the country and the government and hardships faced by people. So it's just that I was reading the pages and physically flinching, because it felt so, because it hit so close to home, and it just took me back to that time of the pandemic where it was just panic, like nobody knew how to deal with this virus, nobody knew what this virus was, and we were just locked down and anxious and scared and terrified and just all these feelings. So it was like PTSD hitting you. So it's a lot. Reading a pandemic book is obviously difficult after what we have just been through, and probably what is still coming for us. It is a bit too much on the nose, but now we are in like full-on apocalypse mode, where, like, you know, it's a dystopia, there's no internet, there's no electricity, etc. So that part still thankfully feels very far away in today's timeline, I hope. I mean, I don't know. So yeah, that's my thoughts about the book so far. We will head out in a few minutes. Where are we going?
We're going to the Magazine Street Kitchen for some Ramzan dinner.
Why is this Ramzan dinner special?
So this dinner is supposed to be prepared by the chef who is flown in from somewhere, I think, to prepare Avdi food, which is basically up north in UP, Lucknow and all that area. So yeah, so it will be an interesting experience, something different.
So there's a lot of like meat food, like kebabs and stuff.
Yeah.
And pulao. And unfortunately there's no halim, which is a Ramzan special dish from the city that I come from, which is, I guess, very different from the food that you get up north probably. So it'll be interesting. It is a 40-minute drive.
Avdi food is supposed to be famous all over India. So if you heard of Galauti kebab or Kakori kebab, that is all from Awadh. So usually in Mumbai, for example, you don't really get examples, you know, of the cuisine, very very authentic of the cuisine. So hence this will be, you know, quite an interesting visit.
And it's a Ramzan feast, so
which has alcohol in it.
Yeah, very strange. But that's okay. It's gin, so I'm excited for that, because gin is yum. Anyway, yeah, we'll show you the meat and the food and the drinks. If it's not too awkward to whip out camera in front of so many people. I'll try. Okay. Hello, it is now Sunday. It's around 10:30 AM and I woke up pretty late, which is okay because yesterday I woke up quite early, and I was just in bed. I was chilling for a bit and I was reading for a bit, and now I'm just making myself some coffee and I'm gonna start some studying. Yesterday's dinner was fun, There was a lot of good food. I could not film much as I was expecting because it is a communal seating style thing that we went to. Like, people were sitting right next to us. The food was fun. There were a lot of, like, you know, meat kebabs. There was one jackfruit kebab which was vegetarian, which did not taste like jackfruit. If you've had jackfruit before, you'd know fresh jackfruit is one of the stinkiest fruits on this planet. But they made it into a kebab and it tasted so good. Like, it was the best thing on the plate. And on the plate were meat kebabs. So you can tell that it was really good. And then we had like pulao and ran, which is like a mutton dish, goat dish. That was also yum. Dessert was a little bit bleh, but we were quite stuffed by the end. And yeah, it was a fun night. Got to chat with people apart from the regular crowd. There were people from a different class of society almost, so it was fun. And yeah, that's it. So like I was saying, I'll have some coffee and I'll start studying for a little bit, and then I'm thinking for lunch I'll take myself out to like a nearby cafe and I'll read and have some good food. That's the plan. It is 5:30 p.m. right now. It is still Sunday, and I spent 2 hours in the cafe at Nude Food Cafe, eating some really yum risotto and grilled chicken and having a delicious cake. So it was fun, and then I came back and I studied for a bit more, and I am here to report that I have successfully finished this book over this weekend and over this reading log. That has been cool. It's been quite some time since I've done that, I think, and I'm happy to have spent an entire weekend with one book, and it was fun. And yeah, a break was very much needed indeed, and I'm happy I got to do it. And yes, let's talk about my final thoughts of this book. Particularly one important point is of a traveling symphony, which starts in the afterworld. They travel between these different settlements, and they play music or they perform Shakespearean plays. They have this line on their caravan which says survival is insufficient, and apparently it's like a Star Trek reference, I don't know. But yeah, basically they find that people need an escape from the reality of trying to survive in this new world, and they provide that. So it's a very dystopian, science fiction, religious, pandemic kind of a book. I first heard of this book when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and people were recommending pandemic books and stuff like that. It felt too on the nose to read it earlier on, but now with the benefit of a little hindsight, I think it was easier to palate, easier to read. And the one thing of note in this entire book is that it is beautifully written. Like, the author has weaved in so much beautiful prose through such stark themes that it sticks out, and it sticks out very memorably. And like, I have annotated certain points where I want to remember what the author says about the pandemic as such, or the dystopian world, or the end of civilization. So beautiful writing, and there are a lot of different characters throughout the entire novel, but we follow the journey of a few key characters. But because of how the author has chosen to depict them in their previous lives and how they are right now, and like a few common threads that connect all of them, you end up being very endeared to these characters. You're very invested in finding out what happens to them, and I love that. So yeah, beautiful character study as well. I was reading an article about this book which said that a lot of people turned to this book because it was a dystopian novel, but it had positive themes. Like, even in a world which is fighting for survival, people still find the beauty in Shakespeare. People still find the beauty in music, for example. And I don't know, it struck a chord, kind of. And yeah, that fear that what can happen tomorrow, will we survive tomorrow, was, it hit too close to the bone. So I was kind of flinching in those parts. But the dystopian world was very interesting to read about. Like, you wouldn't think that a health crisis could eventually lead to the entire demise of civilization, right? Like, and the way the author plays out that entire part kind of makes you wonder just how precarious our lives are and our society is, almost. Because you're like, wow, it just takes like a virus to disrupt society, and that's a very scary thing to imagine. Of course, it did wipe out 99% of the population, so just that had a big part to play in the entire scheme of things as well. So yeah, scary things to imagine, but a beautiful work, and it ends on a very hopeful note, so that's fun. That's always good. I love novels where, you know, it presents the bleakest, darkest picture but ends up giving hope to the reader, you know. So yeah, I really enjoyed my time with this. It's immensely readable because of the beauty of the prose, and also because the characters kind of draw you in and you want to know what's going on. You figure out the plot kind of in the midpoint, and I think you're supposed to also. It was not like a, you know, it was not like a spoiler for yourself when you figure it out. I feel like you're meant to know the spoiler, but that was also fun. And yeah, great book. Really enjoyed my time with it. I was scared to read a pandemic book, but a pandemic book treated this way, I don't think is a bad thing. So yeah, I am probably going to rate this around 4 to 4.5 stars. So yeah. So yes, that's where I'm going to end this vlog. I feel like I have a lot of footage to glean down to and repackage into a YouTube friendly, time appropriate video. But it was a fun weekend, and I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, probably like the 25-minute mark. I don't know how long this is going to be, but it means the world to me. And like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that, and I'll see you very soon.